It's time to go beyond plus ultra for Boku no Hero Academia.
I'm definitely feeling a lot more minus Art Lou this time again.
Did you hear that the week of this recording, I don't know what day Boku no Hero drops, like Sojin Jump drops. I think it may be either Friday or Saturday. But as of a few days ago, Boku no Hero the manga officially ended.
Yep, I knew that.
Yep, chapter 430.
Cool. And everyone died.
We don't know. We don't know. Like, both sides, there could be like some big. There could be a hero or a villain in the last scene with like some nuke quick that just
No,
blows up everybody.
I, I was about to say it's a panty and stocking situation where he just uses the quirk and we just cut to like a fucking puppet version of the Earth exploding.
Oh shit! uh,
Well, shit, didn't think that was gonna happen.
this episode slightly surprised me because I know it was 2 weeks ago that the last one was on because of the Olympics, but I
Mm.
believe we thought, due to the trailer, the way the trailer was cut, there would be more Dobby and more All for One scenes.
Yeah, I really thought we were gonna cut to All for One more than this, and we really didn't as much as I thought we would. I
And
didn't think we were gonna be with Shigaraki at all for this.
and almost no Dobby, just like 30 seconds.
Just like a, hey bitches, I'm back. That's like all we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just no. This is all we got. Let me rephrase that. Hey bitches, I'm back. I copied your technique. Done. That's it. That's all he had.
I,
That's all that happened.
I'll get back to that when we refresh into that scene, but yeah. So, Mirko is pretty captured, and Shiggy is saying, like, hey, who's going to be Midoriya's next president?
Actually, before we do that, right?
Yes.
We kind of have this little lead-in sequence of like Deku traveling along the ocean to get back,
Hmm.
and a little scene of him talking to the first. It's weird to call them like that now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm really feeling like Naruto, because that's how they always referred to the other Hokages, was like by their number.
Do we know, besides All Might, do we know their names? When
We
Nana was 7.
Yeah, we knew Nana. Um, I know that we found out the first name at some point. I forget if it was through a flashback or not. But it was like Ichi something. Like they each had. It seems like each of them have part of like the name, the number in their name.
Hmm.
But it was like Ichi something. Um,
Come on, Horikoshi loves wordplay. Like, and I know I brought this up probably several times as we're doing this, but every quirk user has something related to their quirk in their name.
why can't he just be normal and name them after vegetables, fruits, and shit that's in his fridge?
I know, right?
Why can't he just name that one ceiling fan? Oh man, no, but like he mentioned something that I'm a little bit confused by,
Okay.
which is like he says uh, all for one's quirks have been increasing, which I don't know what he means by that. Like unless this part is happening later within the context of the episode itself, like timeline wise,
Okay.
I don't know that he's absorbed any that he's quirk.
You cut out, dude.
Hello, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
I mean, my mic was picking me up. Discord says I'm talking. I don't know why you couldn't hear me.
You were saying something about quirks, then you were cut off mid-word.
Uh, it was saying all for one's quirks have been increasing, and I
Okay.
don't know what that means in the context of this episode because he hasn't absorbed quirks until this episode.
Hmm.
He's only been fighting like 4 people, none of which he's stolen the quirk of. And he's been like airborne the entire time, basically.
Huh.
So I don't know what that means. The only thing I can think of, and I don't know how this works, how this makes sense, I should say, in how it's supposed to work. But like, the only thing I can think of is that Ares Rewind is giving him back quirks he had it's taken in the past, but I don't understand how that works because
Hmm.
that means there are duplicates of already existing quirks now.
Because this scene is taking a few scenes ahead.
That's the only other thing I can think of if it's not referencing the fact that Ares' quirk is doing that.
Okay.
It would have to mean that this scene is playing out before it's supposedly happening in chronological order. And even
Hmm.
then, he doesn't say that his brother has gotten one. He's saying he's gotten like multiple. Is the way I'm reading this at least. And he's only stolen one in this episode.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird phrasing for it and a weird timing for it in the run of the episode. So yeah, anyway, back to Shigaraki because apparently understanding this is weird. Uh Bakugo's dead. Did you forget? It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's a big dead boy, and everyone's like, "But he had the biggest mouth. How can he be dead?" Oh, but he is, and Genus is like, "I can repair it. I can bring him back, better than he was before.
Let me just use my thread.
I'll stitch his heart back together. He'll be the Million Thread Man."
I don't know a musical. I don't know a musical cue that I could just like hum right now.
Anyway, yeah, as you were saying, Mirko, very, very caught. And, Shiggy's like, "Aw, man, Deku was right. You should have just kept hammering away at us. Can't trust us. Can't let us plan nothing. It's all your fault." And then we cut to our 30 seconds of Dobby being like, "Hey, bitches, I'm back."
Does Dobby somehow have ice powers now? Because Phosphor is ice plus fire. Dobby,
So
from what we
the
know, only has fire.
the way I'm understanding it here is that he's copying the technique, right? Not the fact that it's ice and fire as a balance, but like the way he's channeling it through his heart.
Oh.
He's just doing the same with flame, like pure flame. At least that's my understanding so far, unless something new comes out in a following episode. And I'm guessing it's a way to just kind of try and counteract the whole cold fire thing. To, counteract it with pure fire, like hot fire.
Hmm. I kind of like Skeptic calling him Mr. Daddy Issues.
I mean, he's not wrong. Skeptic's right. So yeah, fun to know. Skeptic's taking over all of the shit now because apparently he used to be big within that tech field before they got rid of him for one reason or another.
You know, and just the scene with Skeptic made me feel like I was watching JoJo for just a few seconds because the satellite system is called Feel Good Inc., which is a gorilla song.
So you get that. Like, the way he's going at this, I got Light Yagami from Death Note vibes. Like, as he's scribbling away in his fucking notebook, he felt like he was doing the same thing but typing on a keyboard. The same energy.
Okay. But I'm just like, why is it called Feel Good Inc.?
What do you want? You want it to be called Bizarre Town Logistics? Like, what do you want?
Now I
Anyway,
see that.
Oh, turns out that's an actual fucking construction company in Morio. They're the ones that built Superfly. Anyway, we cut back to All for One, who's like, "Hey, look at me! I'm all pretty now." Also, I think I was correct here in calling that there is no control over this. It is rewind until you no longer exist.
I might have to go back because I thought I said that.
I don't remember who said it first, and I don't know if we put down points on it, but I do remember like having that whole "I don't know whether or not this stops" or like conversation.
No. I said it, and you couldn't see that because you were saying, then what's his end game in rewinding himself? Because he can't rewind himself too far because he needs a purpose to do this.
Mm-hmm. Which he does reveal here, but I think it's dumb. I don't. The thing is, like, I can't see self-sacrifice for this guy, even if it is technically for himself. As weird as that is to say.
So I may have to go back and listen to last time. Just
Oh, this was like way further back, I think, wasn't it?
no, he only
Like, I thought last episode was basically all Shigaraki.
okay. It might have been 2 ago then.
Which, for us, is 3 weeks at this point because of
Yes.
the Olympics. I don't know, right? Like, it's so hard to believe that he does something that is technically selfless, but isn't at the same time.
Right.
Especially because having 2 of him in the world would just be way too strong.
So his
And, like, that possibility being erased is something I don't think he would want to do.
so his end goal is beat Endeavor, Hawks, and anybody that may be there with his new, well, quote unquote, new, younger form, so he can go save Shigaraki, so Shigaraki could take over as the new All for One?
Maybe. And my next question would be, would it also be for, you know what? Maybe this is part of it.
Okay.
He brings his new young body to Shigaraki to then absorb all the quirks that are inside of it at that moment.
But would he keep rewinding then?
That's the question, isn't it?
Because the way Dr. Eggman was saying, it seems like he'll just rewind to nothing.
Well, that's the thing, right? The rewind is a, like, essentially for all intents and purposes right now, is essentially a drug in his system, not a quirk.
Okay.
He would continue to rewind by that logic. But any quirks he may have had in the past, if rewind is restoring those quirks, they could then get taken. The next question is, he's also saying, like, before, if he doesn't have those quirks from the past, what happens if you take a duplicate of a quirk, a clone of a quirk, and then add that to the original? Does that
Double
strengthen it?
Strength? Huh.
That's what I want to know.
Huh.
Right?
So
Could that be the goal of, like, well, this body's useless, but hey, here's a power buff for you, Shigaraki, and hey, you're bringing in more of my consciousness again.
Okay. So
Like, reuniting the 2 consciousness that way.
So you're saying if he does manage to get to Shigaraki, he's planning on for Shigaraki to take all the quirks from the main body.
Mm-hmm. I'm saying that, to me, that seems like a very him thing. It seems like a very solid plan for him to do.
Okay.
Like, not only free him from the trap, which is something he mentions here, but also give him a big power boost. Since the body's going to decay anyway, may as well take the clones and give yourself a power boost.
Okay.
Like, that to me seems like a pretty solid game plan. And even more so if it means his consciousness just gets added even stronger into Shigaraki's new body. Anyway.
Yeah,
here's actually the question I was pondering after watching this. So because of the way we know that rewind is supposed to work, again, I don't know how much of this has been altered by turning it into a drug rather than just the straight quirk.
Yes.
but it would rewind any damage he's taken as well, right? So this makes it
Yes.
even trickier for the heroes at this point. Because
Mhm.
if they damage him, the damage gets rewound.
But,
However,
yeah.
that also slows down how fast All for One is going to go back to non-existence.
But Hawk says if Endeavor could get another hit in, they could win the fight.
See, that's what I don't know if Hawks realizes what this is. Or like exactly how it would work. Because we know for a fact that Rewind with Deku was literally rewinding his body. Like he was damaging his body so quickly, Rewind was only able to keep up with that at that point. Right? Just the damage. Not rewinding Deku back to his younger years.
Right.
Like this is a discussion we had during the time of like, is this potentially rewinding Deku's body back to before he could handle One for All as a quirk at any point. Like all the training he's done after so many, months or however long it had been at that point. Clearly, the idea was more, hey, he's just damaging his body so quickly, Rewind is just keeping up with that at this point. So if it works the same way here, it could technically leave All for One in an indefinite point of just continually rewinding the damage and not getting any closer to being non-existent.
So
So
Hawk...
we now have a problem of, well, we can't hurt him. Like, short of outright blowing his brains out or something, I don't see a way to stop this. Because at that point, like, you'd have to... maybe that's what Hawks is thinking of, is like, you'd have to do something that would just be an instantaneous kill. But, like, I don't think Endeavor's Prominence Burn is something that can do that, unless he's got some new technique. It would have to be something that would be an instant kill. Even let's say Hawks tries to like sever All for One's head from his body, right? If the shit is healing and rewinding so quickly, it's literally like how do I want to put this? Like as soon as his sword would start going through his neck, it would be refusing itself on the opposite side. I don't know that would be enough to instantly kill him. Which is why I'm saying you'd have to do something short of just like internal explosions, potentially, to do this.
So Hawk decides to buy some time and talk about why All for One is doing these things. And basically All for One is, hey, I've learned from comic books that villains are things to be feared because of the way the ideology is. And I want to skew that and thwart everything good in the world so that the villains are the ones in control and the ones who more write the stories.
See, I'm not sure. I don't know if your subs were different than mine, because I was very confused by the way they worded it. Also, he did steal a quirk. Don't know what fucking quirk he took. But, he also had to take her cape and make himself not naked.
Yeah.
But, like, let's see here. Like, he talks about being inspired by comic books. That much I get. The villain was feared by everyone in the world. Right? Simple. I was influenced by comics. The villain was feared by everyone in the world. Why do you think that is the case? It's like because of the bad things they do. And it's bad things, question mark. In this world, with its infinite number of cultures and values, the action that makes everyone frown and hate you, it's something that keeps people from the future they imagine for themselves. That's why I'm going to keep everyone in this world from their futures. And that's all I've ever wanted. Which, to me, is like, what does that mean exactly? Because if I'm reading this verbatim, that says that you just want to be the guy that refuses to allow the world to move forward. Like, I almost want to go back to the manga and just read what that was supposed to be. Like, what that exact translation was in the official manga. Anyway, cut back to the States, where Admiral Akbar...
Oh,
yeah,
wait.
Yeah.
No. It was Timothy Apgar.
No. Totally Tim Akbar, man. All right.
Every time he shows up, I think we call him Admiral Akbar.
Because he is. Like, other than
Yes.
the fact that he's blue, and I don't think quite as big, he may as well just be Admiral Akbar. He has an actual mustache instead of, like, the antenna things.
Right.
But there's no way that name's not on purpose. I refuse to believe it. This dude was a Star Wars fan, and he changed his last name to fit. But we get, like, a nice little speech from him about, like, you know, what heroes are supposed to do.
What's his quirk?
And remember when I was talking about how, like, connections and shit with One for All and shit?
Mm-hmm.
And how we saw, like, the vestige inside of Bakugo?
Okay.
This shit right here is almost hammering home the point that I was trying to make. Of, like, how adults pass down things to each other, right? Like, how adults support those children and they work together and they pass it on. Same as you would do, and even more so because we see fucking balls of light coming out of Star's hand, leading toward, like, the next generation, right? To me, that hammers home points of connection. And with the people that All Might has touched and inspired, that has led to multiple people around the world connecting through that, it makes me wonder if there is more to One for All that we are unaware of, right? Through these emotional connections that have been made with these people, can it reach further than just the person that has inherited the quirk?
I'm not going to confirm or deny anything that you say, because you may be right, and I don't want to call you out on it, but there's still like 2 dozen episodes left, so we'll see maybe in season 8.
If we do, it would have to be in that. It would have to be like the final... Like, to me, if that is what's going to happen, these are the fucking breadcrumbs leading to that reveal of, like, in the darkest moment when Deku's about to lose, this starts popping up and sprouting out. It's the fucking goddamn, like, lift your hands to the sky, lend me your energy spirit bomb bullshit I'm waiting for.
Okay.
Quick, get Mr. Satan on the horn. We need him to help. Fucking Bakugo just be the Vegeta screaming, and fucking, like, Ochiko comes up like, hey, I think I can do this better than you can. Just let me talk to them. Shut up! What don't they understand?
And
man.
the president wants to get on Shigaraki's good side so that he might spare America, because other countries are trying to get in Shigaraki's favor first.
Mm-hmm. And Apgar makes a solid point of, like, once you're under his control, you're never going to get back out. The minute you give up the first time, it's over. Because you're stuck in that mentality. Like, just taking that from the original face value, you're stuck in that mentality of just give him whatever he wants. Appeasement is always the solution.
Yeah.
Also, even knowing that, right? Like, even knowing that is your game, what the fuck does Shigaraki actually want? Other than to just rip everything to shreds, like the current world order.
Well,
giving him what he wants is your own destruction.
Yeah, because he wants physical destruction too.
Yeah, anything that has, like, the framework in place. He wants it gone. Like, you'd be dusted. He would decay you instantly. Also, we don't know how far decay spreads now that he has this form, right? Now that his body's like this. Well, we don't know how quickly he could dust, like, multiple countries at once.
Well, we haven't gotten to the part where he got his new power yet.
That's what I'm saying, right? We don't even know what his quirks can really do in this version, like this form of himself. And that's even before we get to this end point. Where we have fucking, like, fifth form cooler or some shit.
What's this? Shigaraki's evolving? Shigaraki has evolved into defensive form.
Oh, man. No, this is just Deoxys. It has, like, fucking speed, attack, normal, and defense form at this point. Give him a meteorite. He'll change over to whatever you want.
Was Deoxys's form changes permanent?
No, you just had to give it the I think you had a permanent item called a meteorite in the original, and you could just do that, and you could pick whatever form it was that you wanted.
Ah.
Either that, or you would take it to a certain location and depend. No, that's what it was. I don't remember if Deoxys came out in the original Gen 3 or if it was Gen 4. It might vary a little bit depending on which version of it you have it in.
Okay.
I know in one of them there was like multiple meteorites that were just kind of littered around in this one city, and just taking it to any one of those would change its form to a specific one tied to that meteorite. If you didn't know which one was which, it was just kind of a crapshoot which it would be. Is this the attack meteorite? No, this is the defense one. Is this the one? No, it's the normal one. All right, it has to be this. Oh, shit, that's the defense one.
So, Edshot wants to revive Bakugo by becoming his heart?
That seems to be the case, good sir.
So, what happens if Edshot would die before Bakugo? Like, if he manages to revive Bakugo and is now permanently inside Bakugo,
Mm-hmm.
what would happen if he dies?
So I'm of two minds about how this could work. One, he could literally just be like Stitches at this point, right? Where eventually the heart itself will mend now that he's like alive again, and then the stitches are no longer needed and fall out.
Okay.
In which case, I don't know what happens to Edge Shot at that point, because they make a very solid point of like he's not going to be able to bring his body back from being this small. Maybe he like fuses with Bakugo's body now. Maybe it gives Bakugo a second quirk because of this. Who knows?
Because I was thinking that even though he's in like thread form, when he dies, will he become a full human again? Or will he be thread?
I mean, he can't put himself back together. He's too, well, for lack of a better word, threadbare at this point. He's too thin. He can't put himself back together. That's what they're kind of, if they're not outright saying, it's what they're hinting at.
Kind of like what Jolene couldn't do.
Yeah. Well, they said Jolene could, but she would die trying.
Yeah, she
Like,
could only unravel herself so much.
Yeah, because there wouldn't be a core to bring back to, I would think, is the idea.
And that's what kind of Edshot is doing. He's stretching himself so thin there's no real core anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, there's no real core to come back to or to, like, put yourself back together with, yeah. Either, my thought would be he gets absorbed into Bakugo's body as part of it. Whether or not he keeps his consciousness, I have no idea. I assume not at that point. Or he falls out and he's just thread now. If he dies, who knows? We don't know how long he can exist as that, like, thread form, that small.
So Mirko is fighting Shiggy. She manages to land a hit on him before Shiggy tears off her other arm.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait. Did he actually tear off her arm, or did she tear off her own arm to get a hit?
I'm not 100% sure on who did the arm removal.
I'm looking at it right now. Okay. So she gets a hit in, her arm gets grabbed, and she just keeps going. Fuck the arm.
Ah.
That's what it is.
And wait, what's this? Shigaraki is in pain? What's going on?
I don't even think it's pain. It's the fact that his body's staggered.
He said it stung a bit, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he does say that, yes. But he mentioned that about Bakugo's attack.
Mm.
But yeah, we have, Mirko is now down 3 limbs.
Poor Mirko.
And she is just gonna keep on fucking going.
Hey, if her 4th limb gets torn off, she'll just attack on Nubs alone.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure if that's working right now thanks to Skeptic, but if she has more of those limbs, maybe she could attach one of the other ones again.
Maybe.
Either way, she's still coming, and Mirio's actually trying to help out. Like, he can't do much except kind of blind Shiggy by putting himself in front of his face.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I feel like Mirio would have more ability than this. Right? Like, or maybe it's just because the cave when they were fighting Chisaki was just a perfect environment for him to do this. But like, based on what we saw him doing before, I'm surprised he's not able to do something similar here. Where he's like flying in and out of like the floor and just kicking his face in. Even if it's not hurting him, but as a distraction.
Right.
Apparently that's not enough here. I don't know. It's weird. But Mirko can hit hard enough. Anyway, we're getting like Needleman CPR on Bakugo somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
In the meantime, yeah, we're getting Mirko fighting, doing some more damage. And apparently, Shigaraki realizes what's going on. He's like, I fucking killed that thing. I destroyed it. Don't bring it back. It's done. I don't want to do it twice.
And then Tenko, inside, is still there. And then Shiggy gets a defensive form with all these arms giving him, like, armor?
Hand armor, but also with, like, random heads sprouting. I think they're the heads of his family members.
Yes.
Sprouting out. I don't know what that's going to do. Like, I mean, we've seen the physical damage it does, but I'm curious, like, what that means.
Do you think he'll evolve again sometime?
Oh, yeah. It's probably going to happen during the fight with Deku if I'm going to take any fucking stabs in the dark at that. Right. It's going to happen. He's going to go from a defensive to an offensive form to some other stupid form. Maybe it'll be more radical and just, change to fit whatever quirk he's using at the time, too. Who knows? Anyway, everyone's getting their ass handed to them now that we have fifth form Shigaraki. And I say that because this is very reminiscent of just like a beefier version of Cooler from the DBZ movies. Anyway, I'm gonna make sure Bakugo stays dead. Not working. Mirio starts having a like near mental breakdown to be like, how the fuck do I stop this? I can't. He doesn't care about me. I got it. What if I show him my ass?
Because he remembers Sir Night Eye saying something like, always keep smiling?
Yep. And they get the mental reading of like they're going to shut down the prison for about 2 seconds. And Mirio's like, what can I do to buy time for 2 seconds? And it's show him my ass. It's nice, plump, and ready for fucking kicking in. Let's go.
Did he say something like, it's peachy keen?
It's something like that. He did some real fucking stupid ass pun. And that's enough to just distract Shigaraki of being like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and then Deku shows up.
Hey, look who's here!
With a big ol' smash!
So here's the question.
Yes.
What is the new quirk that we get teased about at the end here? We don't see what it does. We just know that he's going to use it.
Dude, I know I potentially may have made a guess like 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, but I completely forget. Did I say something like a speed boost? Because he was thinking that if I would use the quirk, I could get there faster. And then we were saying it can't be just a speed boost because he could use his other quirks to give himself a
speed boost anyway.
Yeah.
Like Ajin could do that.
Yeah. So
it's got to be something that. Sorry, go ahead. Give me your thought first, because I have my own.
No, but it must have something to do with speed in some way, because I could use the seconds quirk to get there faster. I think it was something along those lines. So I am guessing it is some kind of, I'm going to slightly change this around, like, A quirk modifier. No, but what would that
So,
even mean?
well, that's the thing, right? It's got to do something that augments or changes the other quirks. We know whatever it was originally has been fundamentally changed. It's no longer the same quirk that it was at the start.
So, I'm just going to go with a quirk modifier.
I'm leaning more. The more you said speed, the more I'm leaning towards something along those lines. But maybe it's something. Maybe that was what it was originally, right? Was some kind of speed thing. But my thought is actually maybe it's gone to the point of being something different now, right? Like, not only was it improved, like increased in power, it changed itself from what it was. So I'm wondering. Now, don't give me like the JoJo look, but I'm wondering if it has something to do with maybe time a little bit. Like, if it's not just speed anymore to the point of just things are now slowing down and speeding up, maybe it's something more along the lines of like
He has the Warlow?
perception. No. I refuse time stop. That'd be too strong. That'd be too strong. No, I'm leaning more toward like moving fast enough that it starts affecting time itself, right? Like, how do I want to explain this? So I know I'm calling back here, but do you kind of remember what happened when Bruno and Giorno first fought?
No.
So one of the things that the Gold Experience did in the beginning that Araki just fucking threw to the wayside after this fight was that it could infuse life energy into someone and cause them to like mentally misunderstand like the flow of time, right? Like their brain would be moving at 1,000,000 miles a minute, but their body could not keep up with their thoughts. So
Okay.
everything they did would be moving in like extreme slow motion to the
So,
way they thought they were moving.
supercharged perception?
I'm thinking that the speed he's going to get out of this is going to affect Shigaraki or whoever he fights in that same way. I do
Oh,
think it's speed, but I think it's going to be a speed boost that works on both ends,
okay.
almost.
You're guessing speed boost. I'm going to say quirk augmentation.
Okay. Like my thought is like when I say works on both ends, I think he might be able to speed himself up, but perhaps also slow someone else down.
Okay.
My only question is why wouldn't he have used that beforehand unless it's going to fucking have a massive kickback on the user's body? Because they do mention it would destroy him before he would even get there.
Hey, if you like what we're doing, please like, comment, subscribe. We'd appreciate it.
Check out our streams. We do streams now. It's on Fever Twitch.tv. Look up Fever Gaming. That's where we are. We do Twitch.
Yes.
Scream at us as we do stupid things and make bad choices.
Yes. We're playing through Persona 4 Golden now. I almost said Persona 3 Golden. What am I
You would be
even
very
talking
off. That is a
about?
new game to me. I have never heard of that one.
Yeah,
Very strange that a blue game would be gold.
Persona 3 Aqua.
Aquamarine.
What color is Persona 5?
Red.
Oh, huh. So hey, come back with us next time to see who gets points.
I'm feeling those Bakugos coming back to life points. There, I can taste them already.
But what about the second user quirk points?
I got nothing. I don't know anything about that. That's up in the air completely right now.
Okay, we'll catch everybody next time.
See ya!